Hello everybody, Accureye here, and welcome back to another Accureye Talks video. In today's Accureye Talks video, I thought we'd talk about some things that, to me, is something that probably would be important, especially going into the future of fighting games. Because, let's face it, with the excitement of fighting games coming up and about, honestly, tournament plays and, games that are built around, fighting game tournaments are starting to see a splurge of people who are basically casuals that are going to get into fighting games because they want to be part of the excitement. They want to be part of the action that everyone is going, because unlike esports, which still has some action and still has some people who want to be in it, it's just not as crazy, exciting, or as hyped as like fighting game tournaments get. But with the increase of players who want to become good at fighting games or get into fighting games, it does become a point of tournament playstyle players and players who are actually good at the game are not finding players who are also good at the game. We're getting more and more casuals who are just low ranked players that are terrible. And pardon me if you are a terrible player, but, most players now, it's just all about whiff punching, button mashing, or doing something that just gives them power. It's not about, learning the skill. It's not about learning the abilities, learning the stuff. And that's unfortunate, as it is. That's just unfortunate that we don't have these people who are, quote-unquote, learning the skill, learning the ability, learning the stuff that's necessarily needed. It's all now no matter what, you're just going to button mash to win. And, it's so unfortunate to see this play style, this group of people who are just doing one thing to trying to win. It's all about offense. It's not about learning the skills, learning the play style, learning the ability, which to me means that rank has become worthless. Rank, unless you are diamond, platinum, gold, or even dojo master on Street Fighter, is never going to be seen by someone who is a tournament player, yet they're not finding skilled players. They're not able to get over the hump. And I think this is the problem with bronze players, is many of us FGC players don't want to go online, don't want to play online, because, let's face it, we don't find skilled players. We're not getting skilled players. We're just getting players who are like, oh, hey, look, I'm going to win because I'm on button mash. Boop, 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 I win, button mash wins. Or, boop, 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 whiff, I win. Whiff, 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 I win. And I think that's why many of us FGC players are frustrated with online, because, we don't have a ability to calculate players that are going to just whiff, whiff, whiff. We don't always have the ability to go, okay, this player's going to do this, because, we can't calculate them. We don't know exactly what they're going to do. And this coming up fight is a perfect example of what I mean by, we don't know exactly what is going to happen. We have no idea of what's going to happen, because you can see it here. This guy is just basically whiff punching to try and win. He'll anti-air, he'll whiff to try and win. He's not going to actually try to use skill. And you can tell he's just whiffing or just trying to button mash to win, because that's all he knows. And this is what creates a problem in games like Street Fighter and games like Tekken. And, I think that the only way to really fix the problem is not only just have an unlimited blacklist, so you can blacklist all the players you don't want to play against, but to also kind of go, hey, this Street Fighter, these are players that I don't want to play against. Don't put me on this player's matchup list. These are the players I want to match up with. And I mean, Overwatch does a great job of that. Overwatch did an inventive job of kind of going, hey, I don't like these teammates. Don't match me up with these teammates. And that's the same thing that needs to happen with Street Fighter and every fighting game going forward, is a point of, hey, I don't want to fight against these people. put me off these people's matchup list and put me on this player's matchup list. Sure, maybe we'll end up going, okay, our butt just got kicked. But at least we'll have matchups with skilled players. At least we'll have players who are skilled and can match up well, you know. And that's my point. My point across is, you know, that's exactly my point, because I don't want to have to keep dealing with players who are just terrible, you know. And, I mean, let's face it, 9 out of 10 times, a lot of players are just terrible. And they are just terrible for a reason. So, you know, that's just something that, you know, to me is bad with fighting games. It's just not good anymore, you know. Fighting games are just not good anymore because, let's face it, 9 out of 10 times, you know, you're not going to see a good fighting game player. 9 out of 10 times, you're going to be seeing players who are just like, oh, well, that was fun. I'm going to win again because I'm terrible. I'm a terrible player, and I just want to win for winning, you know. And that's the one problem, is many of us are not getting, you know, out of the button masher phase. And yes, I understand that sometimes the button masher phase is the phase where you're going to have most of your skill, but it's also the phase where most players are just terrible. They'll just use, for instance, something as simple as doing mashing for mashing, you know. It's just, they're playing for playing. It's not even going to be remotely a hey, I'm actually just a good player. I just choose not to do that because, you know. But I mean, you know, it's the frustration that many of us players go through. Many of us go through is the fact that we have way too many button mashers, not enough good players, not enough players who are in the low tier to really, you know, help us grow, help us, you know, fight against these players. I mean, most players, like here, this Fang here is just a button masher. You could tell when they're button mashers, and it's like, yeah, sure, maybe it's going to be a point of, oh yeah, well, there's an easy way to win against these people, but no, there's not really an easy way to win against these people unless you know exactly when they're going to button mash and when they're going to do this one other thing. It's like, you know, it kind of becomes a game of, guess what I'm going to do next while I button mash you to win, you know? It's like, it's kind of just like an annoyance game of, hey, I'm going to button mash to win. Hooray, I win. Good game, me. I'm the greatest player ever. And, you know, I think that it's just these players that we got to shun because, you know, they're terrible. They're not going to be ever good. They're just winning. They're just playing fighting games because, let's face it, they want to be part of the excitement. They think they have what it takes to be some of the best players ever. But, you know, like I said, if we can implement I don't want to fight against these type of players, then, you know, fighting games could become more enjoyable, not only for the casuals, but also for ranked players. Because, you know, players like me who love doing tournaments, you know, we hate sometimes just doing online because, let's face it, online sucks. Ranked match sucks online. And, you know, and then that's just it, you know. It's just like, I do not like that, you know, the button mashers are just there. You know, I don't like that we can't just get rid of them, you know. And I don't like that we can't just say, hey, we don't want to fight against these people. Separate them from our matchup list and put them into this category over here, you know. And that's just my problem with fighting games these days. It's just like, I feel that I still love being part of the fighting game community, but I want to train. I want to be matched up against good players, not just someone who's going to go boop 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 boop, button mash, I win. Boop 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 boop, with punch, I win. Boop 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 boop, throw, I win. You know, it's like, I'm tired of it. I don't want to see that kind of a matchup or that kind of a system anymore. You know, I don't want to see people who are just like, oh yeah, just whip punch to win. You'll win, no problem. Hooray, good job. Good job, because they're never going to be tournament players. They're just kind of like, well, that was a dumb player. That was a dumb player. I don't want to ever see them again. And I would prefer not to see them again. But, thus is the life we live in when it comes to fighting games, is that, to me, the only way to win against button mashers and the only way to get out of the loophole of button mashing is to find a way to counter them, is to find a way to win. But because there are just so many terrible players, and because each one of them have their own unique way of making button mashing okay, we can't just figure out, okay, this person's good, this person's bad. It's very discerning to see how many people are just like, oh, well, this person actually is not bad. This person's just really, really, is really trying to learn. They just don't understand the game that well. And this comes down to the kids. I feel that it's mostly the young kids that are making it to where it's kind of just bad to have players that are just, button mashing, just whiffing, just powerhousing their way through it, as I would call it. And I call it powerhousing your way through it because, let's face it, 9 out of 10 times, most people are just powerhousing their way through it. They don't understand how to play. They don't know how to play. They don't even really get a grasp of the complex versatility, the complexity of fighting games. They just think, oh, if I whiff punch, I'll win. If I do this, I'll win. No problem. Easy. I'm just going to keep doing that, So, my point is, if you're going to just whiff punch, if you're going to button mash, if you're going to do something, I hope that we get a way to just say, hey, we don't want to fight against you anymore. Get out of our face. Don't get matched up with us anymore. Please just stop matching up us with these people. And I hope that not only Tekken, but Street Fighter and many other fighting games start getting this right. Because honestly, it pushes a lot of us tournament players away from playing online because we can't get over the hump of the terrible, terrible players if we're not playing from day one. Again, remember, most tournament players were playing from day one of the game's release, which means that they had loads of time to kind of disconcern new players who are just learning the game. Once the game's out, as long as like Street Fighter is, once the game is out, as long as Tekken is, it's like all the excitement and all the game is starting to come flowing through, which means that the terrible players are coming in. But anyway, with that being said, thank you everybody for joining me today. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for hanging out. If you did like this video, then you know what to do. Hit the like button, get subscribed, hit the bell notification, and thank you everybody for joining me today on this video. Like I said, if you do run into a terrible player, try your best to concern them, to kind of get them into a point of wanting to never play the game again. I mean, the only way to really have it to where the game, at least to me, could be enjoyable, could be playable again, is if we have it to where, we concern new players. We get them to kind of go, oh, we're just terrible at the game. But sadly, we don't have enough videos that are focusing on the issue of the short haul, low tier players. We don't have enough players who are kind of going, hey, these guys are terrible. This is how you can counter them. We don't have enough videos to do that. And while, of course, I will like to try and make a video like that, I'm not sure if I will be able to at the moment. But anyway, thank you everybody for joining me today. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for stopping by. And, if you like this video, you know what to do. Hit the like button, get subscribed, hit the bell notification, because I know you want to know when my next video drops. Next, I am live on Twitch at www.twitch.tv/Accureye. I am live on Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday for sure for about 4 to 5 hours. But lately, I've also been live on Monday, Tuesday, and sometimes Sunday. Monday and Tuesday will always be about a 2 to 3 hour stream. Sunday will always be a 2 to 3 hour stream. Sometimes I'm on Friday, which also will be a 2 to 3 hour stream. But with that being said, thank you everybody for joining me today. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for stopping by. And, until the next one, everybody, this is Accureye signing out and saying farewell, everyone.